It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 11 of The Walking Dead. In this one, I'll be talking about whether I'm Team Negan or Team Maggie and why. Of course, my decision and the reason for it heavily relies on the events of Season 11 Episode 1 and the interactions between Negan and Maggie. So if you have not watched Episode 1101, you may not want to watch this video as it will spoil a lot of major stuff for you from the episode. I will also explain whether I think Negan's decision at the end of the episode was justified or not. So with that said, stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, if you're not a subscriber and enjoy the content by the end, consider subscribing to join our community, share and smash the like button and press the bell to be notified about uploads on the channel. With that said, let's dive right in. So obviously, I'm a Maggie fan. I'm Team Maggie all the way because Negan killed Glenn. Pure and simple. Negan's actions can never be forgotten and he can never be forgiven. Although, I think he has redeemed himself to a point where I think he should be accepted to help the crew. I'm actually getting ahead of myself. Let's backtrack. Let's talk about Maggie first. Maggie actually already had her first real encounter with Negan post Glenn death, which happened in Season 9 Episode 5, where she confronted him in the jail cell. Right after Michonne gave her the key to the cell and pretty much put Negan's fate in her hands. And as I've said many times, Maggie in that scene got the closure that she was looking for. She accepted that Negan would rot in a jail cell for the rest of his life, much like what Rick and Michonne were originally envisioning. But of course, we saw that there's still a lot of animosity between Maggie and Negan, mostly coming from Maggie after all of these years. And we can see that Maggie's still not fully comfortable with Negan being around, which makes perfect sense. She has the utmost right to feel that way. This leads me to my next point. Just like Maggie said in 1101, she is no longer the same Maggie that left 6 years ago. We're dealing with a brand new Maggie now. A Maggie that potentially turned out the way she did because of what she went through during the time that she was gone. And as she put it, there is still a bit of that old Maggie in her, which is exactly what's stopping her from killing Negan in cold blood right then and there. That little piece of Maggie that's still left in the current Maggie is precisely the Maggie that got the closure that she was looking for. Now that being said, I don't think that even the old Maggie would be okay with the way things are, cause let's not forget, Maggie accepted that Negan would be in a jail cell for the rest of his life, which is not where we are right now. Negan is out. He's a free man. And aside from that, it's not about him being out. It's that he's able to have as much influence on the group as he's shown to have. First, the influence he had on Gage that made Gage leave in 1101, and also the influence that he has on Daryl. An influence that has made Daryl reconsider the way he sees Maggie, which is obviously a result of Negan calling out Maggie for bringing him out to die, which he talked about in 1101. So I think that's really what's eating at Maggie right now. It's not just that Negan is out, it's that he's able to have this much influence after everything that he's done in the past. Now, do I think Negan is right and that Maggie's plan was to have Negan die in the tunnels all along? No. But I do think she didn't mind it. She wasn't concerned with Negan's safety. That's for sure. If he died, she would have just considered it as a shit happens moment. So I absolutely agree with Negan that she was being careless, which was ultimately putting everyone else's lives at risk, not just Negan's. Now when it comes to Negan calling out Maggie for her dictatorship type mentality, I absolutely think that Maggie is the type of character that craves power, expects it even. She definitely expected it when she returned. At least that's what it seems like. However, I do believe what she said about being in charge because that's how everyone voted. I just don't know if she would have accepted it if it didn't go her way. You know what I mean? Now, let's take a look at things from Negan's perspective. Do I think that Negan was right in questioning Maggie's decisions? Yes, but only because of the way he came across at first. He was being genuine and he was actually concerned with the risks involved. Maybe more influenced by his own life being on the line, but at the end of the day, he was being genuine about questioning Maggie for the decisions that she's making. He didn't have any hidden objectives, which we can't necessarily say about Maggie. Even though those objectives weren't direct in her decision making, they influenced her decision making. But with that said, do I think that Negan crossed the line by bringing up Glenn's name the way he did and in the context he did during the argument? Absolutely. But quite frankly, I think he was just doing it to push Maggie to just kill him and get it over with. He did that exact thing the first time when she confronted him in the jail cell. He got under her skin, got her exactly where he wanted her, at a place of being seconds away from killing him. But of course, Maggies Mercy prevailed over her wrath in that powerful scene between them the first time. Was that a rec reference? It absolutely was. Anyway, so I think the exchange this time between Negan and Maggie went in more or less the exact same way, with Maggie not falling into Negan's trap in a way. Now with all of that said, let's talk about the cliffhanger. The controversial and crucial scene. Was Negan's decision justified in leaving Maggie to die? Before I answer that, it's kind of ironic because it's exactly what Maggie was planning to do with Negan. It was really Negan's shit happens moment. So even though it wasn't intentional, Negan didn't seem to mind. One other thing I do want to mention is that I actually predicted Negan would leave someone to die in this episode, but I thought it would be Alden. So it didn't go quite the way I expected it. Anyway, so do I think he was justified in making that decision? Absolutely not. It was an interesting karma moment for Maggie, but she didn't deserve that. And Negan made a bad judgment call and deserves to be punished for it. Punishment obviously can be done in several ways. That doesn't mean straight up killing Negan. And that punishment and how it would be done is something the group would have to decide. But I obviously think Maggie won't die. If she did, I think the punishment may need to be more severe for Negan. So final thoughts, I'm not Team Maggie and I'm not Team Negan. Maggie did things this episode that jeopardized people's lives because she couldn't deal with Negan being around. And Negan made a terrible decision at the end that ruined all of his good qualities this episode. Overall, I think Maggie and others need to accept that they cannot just treat Negan the way they're treating him. They should either just kill him, exile him, or accept that he can be a small part of the community with some rights and some privileges, but not necessarily forgive or forget Negan's past and his actions. The final thing I want to talk about is actually the cliffhanger itself. I know a lot of people hated it. My thoughts is that it was a fitting cliffhanger only because it wasn't about what happens next. We all know Maggie's gonna make it. The reason why the cliffhanger worked is because it did a great job building up for the next episode. And the idea of Negan having to face the repercussions of his decision and the lost trust that comes with it, rather than the what happens to Maggie and if she survived and everything. But that's pretty much all I had to share. I am definitely interested to know everyone's thoughts and opinions about this topic. What do you think? Do you think Negan was justified in what he did? Do you think Maggie was justified for what she did this episode? And also, are you Team Negan or Team Maggie? Share your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, share and smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.